do this.
Welcome to Horror First Timers, the podcast where every scream, every gasp, and every heart-pounding moment is fresh and unfiltered. I'm your host, Nate Martin, otherwise known as Tugboat, and this week we are joined again by my lovely fiancée, Maddie Franz. She is here once more. A round of applause.
What up, what up, what up, what up, what up?
How you doing this week, baby?
Pretty good.
You wanna take the reins and tell the people what we watched this week?
We watched Bad Moon.
Yeah.
Right, that's what it's called.
Bad Moon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tis.
What is that? What is Bad Moon?
It's a werewolf movie.
Werewolf movie.
It's got like a sneaky werewolf twist, though. I feel like all werewolf movies are all kind of the same, but they all have like their own take on them.
Yeah.
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 Stuff, troubled family dynamic, seems like.
Yeah.
The woods.
Very much so.
Yeah.
It's based off a book, too.
Is it?
Yeah. The book's just called Thor
Oh.
by Wayne Smith.
LOL.
So, she explained the movie. It's Bad Moon. It came out in 96, year before I was born.
Year after I was born?
Year after you were born. And, yeah, it's the first, what I would consider B movie for the channel. Because I feel like all the movies we've done so far have been newer. I mean, they've all been after the year 2000, so they've all been modern horror movies that we've looked at so far. And we're not far off with it being in 96, but still, it's older, so it looks older, it feels older, and I don't know. I wouldn't say cheap, but
I wouldn't say cheap, because I think it looks pretty good still.
It's got more of the B-movie aesthetic that's like fun and awesome than the other movies we've been covering that are more dreadful and terrifying. Yeah. And we want variety on this channel, man, because there's so much. There's so many genres of horror, you know? I always think of how many, like, metal... Or, like, let's talk about metal music. How many, like, subgenres they have. I feel like it's the same thing with horror. So many little subgenres.
Yeah.
And this, like, werewolf is, like, one of those little subgenres that's awesome. And then also mix it with it being a mid-90s movie that has a practical werewolf and little to none CGI. The only CGI that I know of was during the transformation.
Oh, yeah.
Just get that, like, fade. Which was, like, it didn't look the best, but it was only, like, a half second. It was...
I'm glad the whole werewolf wasn't computer.
Yeah, I'm sure if the movie had more of that, or it stayed on that shot longer, it'd be like, ugh.
Like, it looks bad, but it looks good bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Like, it aged well. Like, the puppet's good, and, like, the way it was shot was, like, pretty good. Like, not super clear, because it was, like, a crap shot movie.
Mm-hmm. So, back to what I was saying, this is just a very long way of saying this is the first old B movie we have on the channel. I kind of want to tell a story about how I discovered this movie, if that's okay.
What do I do during that?
I'm going to talk to you. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to tell you a story. I've already told many of my friends this, because I'm a metalhead and a lot of my friends are metalheads, so when we talk about music we just go down the rabbit holes. And I actually discovered power metal because of this movie. Back in the day, if y'all didn't know, I love werewolves. I'm obsessed with them. Maybe not so much as I was with a kid when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I literally like pretended that I was a werewolf. It was awesome. And so as a kid, new to YouTube in like grade school, what would I look up? Werewolf videos and like werewolf transformations, just from like movies in general.
That's not
like,
all where I thought that was going for some reason.
Yeah, so I'm watching all these like werewolf transformation videos, right? The American Werewolf in London, OG Wolfman. That's also how I discovered the Monster Squad. I think I've showed you that movie. 80s movie with the kids fighting like the classic Universal monsters. Mm-hmm. Very fun. It's kind of like Ghostbusters with kids. It's good. But I would watch all these videos of transformation scenes, and then I start seeing these werewolf transformation videos like set to music and like to metal music. And there was one video that was for this movie, Bad Moon, and it's how I discovered Sonata Arctica, that power metal band that sings a song called Full Moon, which is about a werewolf.
This song in Spanish is about a werewolf, I think.
Just picture like 4th grade me listening to power metal, watching werewolf transformation videos. Just being like, I'm so fucking cool,
You
bro.
fucking weirdo. Just sitting in your basement in a werewolf costume, like listening to YouTube.
Not in the basement. I would do it like at our babysitter's house.
Yikes, that's more embarrassing.
Like before we'd even go to school, we would have like turns. We would have like turns on the computer and watching YouTube and stuff, and that's what I would look up.
You ever think about your babysitter telling your parents, yeah, I just sat there looking up werewolf videos again?
Probably did. They were probably like, at least it's not drugs, you know?
Yeah.
Also, we were in like 4th grade.
Uh-oh. You fucking weirdo.
Fucking weirdo. Okay, so back to Bad Moon, 96, made by a guy named Eric Red, who I don't know any of the other movies he directed, but he wrote Near Dark and The Hitcher, which are both very good thriller/horror movies, so you should check those out. We watched Bad Moon. First question, what were your initial thoughts on Bad Moon?
It was a little cheeky, a little fun.
Yeah.
It was like
It's a fun
not
movie.
It just like wasn't too serious in general.
It's it's like a horror movie disguised as a family movie.
Like a kids movie. Did you see the way that bedroom was designed? Like the whole I thought it was a kids movie for a second. And I was like, why are you showing me?
Yeah, that's what I said when we started watching it. I was like, this house is very like family friendly, like Disney.
Yeah.
Like
or like Fuller House kind of vibes.
There's very like inspirational
Full House,
music, like and you're
like
like, wow, this is so
90s
nice.
Suburbia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't help that I know the main kid from Dennis the Menace too. So like him being in another role that looks like a kid movie, it's like, oh, this is a kid movie. It's got Dennis in it,
Yeah.
bro. And then it like just out of nowhere it'll switch to like a horrifying practical werewolf that looks cheesy, like maybe at first, but like if you really look at it and see like all the detail, the like drool coming off, the skin,
the eyes,
the animatronics in the face are great. Yeah. The eyes moving, the snout, the ears are even like moving back and forth.
Like obviously it looked like a animatronic, but at the same time I was like, that's sick.
Yeah.
Look at that real thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and there was a lot of shots, even though it felt like there wasn't much action throughout the whole movie, because I feel like in the middle it does get a little...
it was just like the same action. Like it was, oh no, it's nighttime, he's killing you again. A bunch of times. Yeah.
But like my memory, I haven't seen it in a few years, when it first got to that night where Thor, the dog, followed him out there, I literally thought that was like going to the finale of the movie. I was like, oh, I forgot there was like a whole nother 2 nights, you know?
Was it only like 3 nights?
It was like 5, because he said, and this is one of my questions too, but he said that any moon works. Yep. So like doesn't have to be a full moon, even though the like where we catch up with him in the movie, it's a full moon, so that leads you to believe that type of lore.
That's where the twist was. Dun dun dun.
Yeah, and he was like,
just kidding. It's
no,
every
dude,
night.
just any moon.
All the moons. You don't know him like I know him. What a douchebag. He ended up. I liked him so much in the beginning, and he ended up such a douchebag by the end.
Well, in the very beginning, he was getting laid.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Get it. Work it. What an extensive scene.
Yeah, there's some boobies right away in this movie.
Just like it wasn't even family friendly, like we're in love or like we want to fuck around or whatever. It was just like straight up.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I kind of forgot about that too, because we're just talking about how this movie is like kid friendly and like looks like a kid movie, but literally like 2 minutes in, these 2 people are fucking.
What a great way to open up a movie though, let me tell you.
They're fucking in the jungle. they're researching something, and then as they're fucking, werewolf kills the chick very brutally, I will say. Tears her to fucking shreds. And then at the very end, he's like holding her and then like whacks her down to the ground with his other hand.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, it's so brutal. It was kind of funny, but like just how abrupt it was is like, oh, like he just broke her back. Probably.
You're useless to me now. I shall throw you aside. It was a fun way to open up and a fun way to continue and a fun way.
I know what you said out loud when I told you what the main perspective of this movie was, but how did it make you feel when you found out that, oh no, the main character in this story is the family dog?
Thor, the family dog. How did it make you feel? Like, stupid. I'm glad that they only did a couple of those scenes from his POV because those were annoying.
Yeah,
like,
it
shaky,
didn't really
like,
fit
blurry.
on our TV, I felt like.
He's just a little bit like out of place.
Yeah.
Glad they didn't make a whole bunch of those kind of scenes.
Mm-hmm. I feel like I have not read it, but I'm pretty sure I read that that one of the main differences in the book is like the whole book is in Thor's perspective.
Oh, thank God they didn't do that.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that would make it interesting to read the book.
So like inner monologue, like Thor talking like, this is my family, my pact, I must protect. Yeah. I think it's cool though. I think it's a really cool take on a werewolf story. Just have like a house pet.
They were really tugging at our heartstrings at the 1 pound scene.
That's the
Especially,
one thing.
Like owning a dog now, my heart. They're like, we gotta get rid of him, and I was like, no.
But damn, that was such a good dog actor. He was such a good boy.
Yeah.
I bet he was treated so good on set.
I wonder if there was more than one of him.
Maybe. I didn't look that up to see who the dog actor was or anything.
Look it up. Let us know in the comments.
But those work dogs or those actor dogs, they usually get treated well on set.
They better. They're good.
Yeah.
The good ones.
But also, that's what I like about this movie is that they used a real dog. I feel like in today's age, like the scenes that were filmed for this movie, they would have just used a CGI
Wasn't
dog.
Cujo just like a puppet?
Yeah, sometimes Cujo was a dude in a suit.
Oh no.
Yeah, like a man in in like a dog suit.
Yikes.
Yeah, and a puppet. There's definitely some puppetry in this movie, but yeah.
Mostly on the werewolf side of things. Like,
yeah. I'm pretty sure most of the stunts were the real dog, unless it was getting like thrown and shit, and then it was a fake dog. But like what I was saying though, they would never do that in today's age. They would be like CGI dog, CGI werewolf. We don't have the money for this practical masterpiece. Because it's not the best looking werewolf I've seen in a movie. It's pretty damn close though. I will say the best in my opinion is American Werewolf in London, which is this guy. This big like wolf creature.
Not this guy.
Not the Wolfman. The Wolfman is the OG, but
Did the same guy play him in all
he's
the
just
movies?
a man with some fur.
I really biffed this one.
Yeah, you did.
Don't move. Don't
Yeah, he's
move.
played by the same guy, Lon Chaney Jr. We're getting very off topic. I love it. I love it. This is what our good friend of the pod and family member Michael Franz wants. We're gonna shout him out right now and make him feel really bad. We're very good. I don't know.
He's probably gonna be on the pod.
We're kind of
let's be honest.
biffing it right now, but
Got a
at
lot
least
of
at least
opinions.
at least she's saying other things. Then it was fine.
That was just the last one. I think the first one was very well thought through. There was also more to think about because the last one was boring.
What was the last one we did with you?
I can't remember. Oh, the woods one.
The ritual.
Yeah.
Yeah, she said it was boring.
I
And I asked her why, and she said I was tired of being scared.
I was, indeed. And then I felt silly at the end for being scared because the monster was sick but looked silly, where it no longer was believable, where something in the woods could come get me.
Did you like that monster or this werewolf better?
The monster.
Really?
I think werewolves are overdone.
Really?
Hot take.
I feel like there's not enough werewolf movies.
That's because you love werewolves.
Yeah, but I feel like there's not when I say there's not that many, I'll also say there's really not that many good ones.
That's because they're not supposed to be good, I think. It's kind of like
there's some good ones.
That's like kind of the fun about like werewolves. It's like always a little bit silly.
Man, I would love to make just like a good werewolf movie. I would make a movie about the Beast of Bray Road.
The Beast of Bray Road.
You know what that is?
No.
That's Wisconsin's cryptid.
Oh no.
Which is a werewolf.
Is that why you love werewolves?
No. I liked werewolves before I knew about the Beast of Bray Road. Beast of Bray Road is pretty cool though. How did you feel about the role of the family dog Thor in the story? I kind of already asked you that. How did you didn't even really answer me, I feel like. How did you like Thor as the main character?
I don't think he ended up being the main character. I think it was the family was like the main character. Because like the dog did save them, and the dog did know that the uncle was the werewolf.
Mm-hmm.
The dog was like the hero, but I wouldn't say it's like the main character. Like the family unit was the main character. Like I think he was necessary because he had to protect the family, and they needed somebody like a scapegoat. Like that's why he went to the pound kind of character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Were there any scenes or moments that stood out to you as particularly memorable or frightening?
Frightening? No, they were just sick nasty.
Yeah. Were you scared at all during this movie?
No.
No.
It was kind of a nice reprieve after the ritual.
There's a couple jump scares. Did they get you?
No.
No?
They
were like fake out jump scares with like the birds and stuff like that.
Well, it was just the whole thing was set up in such a silly like way, I feel like.
Yeah.
That it was hard to take serious enough to be scared of it.
Because it was very 90s.
It was so silly. I mean, it's worth watching, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
It's a good one.
Yeah. It's a good one.
That right there.
Me and my mother, April Martin, love this movie. Great movie.
Is that what we talked about when you were making fun of me earlier?
Yeah, that's when we were talking
Goonies.
about this. We were talking about the Goonies, but what she said about this, she was like, "Oh, Bad Moon, I love that movie. You mean to say she hasn't seen it?" And I was like, "Yeah,
April.
This bitch doesn't know anything." Not like that. I'm saying she doesn't know movies, okay?
I'm just a little lady.
She's just a little baby.
I'm just a little baby. I can pay you in blocks. What was that promise by Fred Armisen? I'm just a baby. I don't have any money.
I don't see.
I can pay you in blocks. He pulls out his pockets from his diaper.
Oh no.
Anyway.
Anywho, so now that we know that this movie did not scare you that much, what were the scenes that stuck with you, that stood out to you, that you liked?
Ooh, the opening scene. I verbally was like, that was sick. Because, you got these people fucking, and then you got them exploring, and then you got the horses frightening, and then you got a big monster who slices a lady in half, and then he gets bitten, and then you're into the movie.
Yeah, not to mention that he gets the werewolf gets his head blown off.
That was pretty cool. What a cool
That's
effect.
like what starts it off.
Yeah. The opening scene, I think, was the most quality scene out of all of them, probably.
It's a good scene. It's a good cold open.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
And then it goes straight into dramatic music, into opening credits above tree line.
Also, why was she a lawyer if we never saw her do work once? Also, I liked all the little subplots that came within the movie, as far as like stop doing that. As far as like.
Uh-oh.
That was rude. Come on, bro. I thought we were friends. Oh, the little stories within the stories.
Yep.
Because, like, the main story was, like, there's a big bad werewolf.
Yep.
But then the kid had his side mission to go save the dog at one point, and the mom was trying to, like, defeat that con man.
Yeah.
But
well,
then
the con man came back.
Exactly.
Trying to get back at her. I guess he was going to try to kill the dog?
I suppose.
Because he had a stake and a cleaver.
He had, like, a hatchet or, like, a cleaver, yeah.
Yeah. But, like, what was his plan there? I think he was going to try to kill the dog.
There's something deeply wrong with you if you feel the need to kill a dog.
Yeah, just because, like, a white woman talked down at you. How dare you?
Just a little lady.
That was pretty funny, though, when she was just calling him out, saying everything that was so actually true. Because he was, like, in, like, a position, like, oh, I'm hurt. And as she just kept roasting him,
well, we all knew he
just, like, sat up straight and was like, yeah, he got me.
You'll be hearing from my lawyer husband. I am a lawyer.
I am a lawyer. Oh, and then that zoom in on her face, just like, don't ever mess with a lawyer on her own turf.
Intense for no reason. That was part of the fun of it, though, like the intensity
like,
of it
Thor,
all.
sit down. Don't you ever mess with a lawyer on her own.
She had to
turf.
show like that the dog was under her command. Like, she was a strong lady, not just a little lady. I don't know what the.
He's
why
all
my
like,
hands even not near my face. When
you
I
got,
that.
You got crazy dog there.
She's like, damn right, I do some back off.
Any other scenes that stood out to you at all?
No, it was just a lot of the rinse and repeat between the. I'm gonna go out into the forest. Yeah. Is the dog gonna follow me? I might kill something. Yeah. Like the little reveals were kind of cute. Like, oh, he's chained to the tree. Probably should back away. I'm just a little doggy. Oh, he's not chained to the tree. What if he gets me? They fight. Yeah. Oh, she's discovering I'm a werewolf. So each time we went into the woods, we got something a little bit different, but it was the same. Like, let me just rinse you out and redo you a little differently. Yeah. So no, I feel like the first scene, that was long-winded. My bad.
No, it's okay. Our dog also sat up and looked at us for a second.
Hi, buddy.
It was kind of funny.
He's so sick of us.
I would say not just because it has the most action, but the final sequence would be my favorite.
Yeah, it was fine. Oh, damn it. There I go again.
She caught herself. Just when like everything when he changes till like the very end is great to me, especially when she gets back to the house and thinks she's gonna be okay locking the door, and then he just fucking goes right through the window, and then he's in this confined space. And I think all the shots of him in the house were like great. You could not tell that like he was being puppeted or anything like that. I don't know. It looked real to me, even though he's not real. Yeah. And I don't know, being in the close quarters, you're like, oh fuck, dude, you gotta get out of here. It's
gonna take me to like a barn animal inside of a house, and you go, wow, you're a lot bigger in here.
Yep. And then yeah, I think that scene I like a lot, and I think it's also the scene that gave me nightmares as a child, probably. Because as much as I love werewolves, I think I'm like Batman. Okay, hear me out. You know how like Batman likes bats because he fears them? I think I like werewolves because I'm afraid of them.
I feel like that's not that special.
But not that I like have a fear of them, but like as a child, I definitely had like dreams and nightmares of werewolves, even though I like them. I don't know. Just a thought I had. I'm like Batman. Okay. I'm Tugboat. I'm Tugboat. Jesus Christ, what does this podcast come to? What did you think of the film's approach to the mythology and lore of the werewolf? Have you seen any other werewolf movies?
Yeah, I watched the one with the star on the palm.
The Wolfman?
Sure.
The black and white one?
That guy?
Yeah. Yeah, we watched the Wolfman. Did you watch any other ones?
Van Helsing, does that count?
Van Helsing, they have werewolves. That would be a werewolf movie. Van Helsing kicks ass, dude.
Prisoner of Azkaban.
They got werewolves for the longest time. That was my favorite Harry Potter because it had a werewolf.
Scared the shit out of me. Cried at it while watching it in drive-in.
That's a creepy ass werewolf in there.
That's a terrible werewolf.
Like lengthy. And
the lankiness
bald.
of him, like. Bleh.
Yeah.
I'm less scared when they're like beefcakes, you know.
Yeah. Like the underworld werewolves.
Underworld.
Did
I mention that already? Yeah.
Those guys are just ripped. They're jacked.
They're fucking swole, my guy.
Fucking jacked. So I guess there's not much different with the lore other than
what's the one where
they
he's
can
a high
change
school student and he turns into a werewolf?
Teen Wolf.
Teen Wolf
With Michael J. Fox.
LOL.
Were there any themes or messages that you caught in the film that resonated with you at all?
I don't think you need themes or messages in a fun movie like this. It was like watching it to watch a werewolf kill people. Like,
yeah,
pretty predictable. You know what's about to happen. It's like a comfy horror movie where you can already predict pretty much the end of it. Like, some people die. Eventually they get the werewolf. Everyone's okay. I think the interesting side of it was the fact, like, the inclusion of the dog was kind of an interesting twist. Like, he was the guardian of the family, and it was like from his perspective, and he was going to keep all of them safe, but he was deeply misunderstood. Like, you know?
Yeah, that I really liked, and I also really liked the fact that the uncle, Ted, the werewolf, didn't have a story arc where he's just in the right. Maybe you would say the whole time, like.
Well, I feel like the guy who
like
plays
feel
Wolfman,
bad for me, you know.
The Wolfman guy is like tortured, and like you feel bad for him the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also,
this guy was a little bit sinister.
But also, yeah, the Wolfman. That's what you usually see with werewolves. They're usually tortured. You feel bad for them. They can't help it.
Yep.
And that's how he is at first.
Yeah.
And he even goes ahead with tying himself up and chaining himself up so he doesn't kill his family, because his last ditch effort is like, maybe being with my family will cure me.
Yep.
Which, come on, don't be dumb. Science is science, not
the love. Love will cure.
I don't know. I mean, maybe if a bunch of werewolves all like sat in a circle and sang Kumbaya, they might turn into they might be cured, I guess, but no. But by the end of the movie,
he like gave in.
He was just giving in and was like,
called
you
a
know
sister
what?
Like the B word, like
he was like, you know what? Like, this curse is just gonna take me over. I might as well just like give into it.
He was like malicious when he like got bit by the dog and was trying to send him away because he was gonna give him away at the end, even though he's trying to protect him in the beginning.
Oh yeah. He's the
like
whole reason the dog got pulled away.
Yeah.
Because he fucking winked at him. He like provoked the dog.
Yep.
He like, in a way, he knew the dog would just go ape shit. He winked at him, and Thor's like, "Oh, I'm gonna fucking get you, dude."
I did appreciate like the slow descent into like
he's the bad guy.
Into him being the bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was nice.
Kind of just turning into the monster.
Which was fine. It made me feel less bad about her shooting her brother at the end of the movie.
Yeah. It was kind of funny, though, that she shot him by just like, "Get away from my son!"
Go, 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 go. Like loads 6 rounds into him.
Yeah, like total action movie star. It's like, you do realize you're fucking shooting up your brother right now.
Bro. He's not going to be
awesome.
like that when the sun comes up. That was the only thing I could think of there. I was like, he's going to become human again, and he's going to be injured, and he's going to be all shot up, but like, aren't werewolves known for healing really well?
I feel like usually.
So like, did he not just die because he had healing superpowers because he's a werewolf?
I think that's part of the lore, you know, that is like changed in this movie, on how, one, they change every night instead of just on a full moon. And then he was talking to the kid. He's like, the only way to kill a werewolf is a silver bullet. And then he was like, I think a shotgun to the head will do you just fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that means he definitely killed that other werewolf that got him and his lady, who killed his lady and turned him. So by the end of it, when he turns back into a human and he's all just mangled, Thor definitely does
the makeup.
Does the double tap. Oh yeah,
cool. And the mangling,
the gore and the prosthetic effects and everything, the makeup.
Just like
really good for a schlocky B movie.
Just like the whole, like the tears and everything were so good.
They look gross. I really liked at the beginning of the movie that we liked so much when he first got like bitten and ripped.
Yeah.
The chunk of meat.
Gash marks.
Yeah, there was
like
literally there was like canyons on his fucking chest.
The blood that came off when the dog bit his arm, like all of it, like the splatter in general of every kill, like the parts hanging in the trees. All the gore was like
foot.
Good gore.
How did you make of the film's climax and resolution? Did you like how it wrapped up?
Yeah, I saw it coming. It was nice. I was like ready for the movie to be done. I was like, oh, I wonder how much longer we have. But this must be the final battle scene.
Yeah. I kind of wish now, like rewatching it, thinking that it was a little slower than I remember. If they just would have removed one of those nights.
Yeah.
And then,
I think it would have been a lot better.
No, removed one of those nights and then make the final battle a little bit longer to have more werewolf and like fight, I guess.
Or to give the brother more character arc.
Yeah.
I feel like I wanted to hear, like, I wanted her to tell him about her finding the journal and like what's going on in there and how it all happened, and like I wanted to hear that story and we never got it.
Yeah.
Besides her reading his journal.
I don't know, but maybe it could have benefited. Maybe it wouldn't have benefited at all. It maybe would have made it more confusing if you gave us all that backstory, you know?
Yeah.
If it's done well,
I just
it'll
wanted to
work,
see his inner character turmoil, and you never saw that other than his dumb facial expressions he made the entire movie.
Maybe if the movie followed him a little bit more.
That would have been nice, because it's definitely like mom, kid, dog centered.
Yeah, there's only really two types of werewolf movies, though. One where you follow the guy that's a werewolf, or one where you're guessing who is the werewolf, you know?
Well, and we didn't have to guess who the werewolf was.
Yeah.
Unless you're
me. That's what's unique about this one. Is just like, we're going to put you in the POV of a dog.
It doesn't even, like, his POV doesn't even last the whole movie either. It's like a couple of scenes where we're putting him to bed. Mm-hmm. Or no, I'm sorry, not him. The dog is putting his family's... Let me try that again. Rewind. The dog is trying to put his family to bed, and that's like his main POV shot. And then the rest of the movie is just like, oh no, the dog's barking. Should we let him out?
Yeah. But I'm maybe not necessarily from his point of view, but we follow the dog's actions through most of the movie.
That's because he was the hero of the story.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so sweet at the end. It's like, you saved us, Thor. You're our hero. And he's just sitting there like, I'm a good dog.
I'm a good dog. I do good things.
I get treats. I get treats.
I get treats.
I get treats.
Don't say that word too loud.
He's got a treat. Were there any other aspects of the film that you found particularly unique or different from typical werewolf movies that we have not talked about yet? Or just any movie in general?
Very cut and dry. I did like that they used a pretty limited like set for the scenes. Like, if you weren't in the house, you were in the trailer. If you weren't in the trailer, you were by the lake. If you weren't by the lake, you were in front of the house.
The lake was cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The PNW represent.
PNW in an Airstream.
We were just in an Airstream.
Yeah. Do you think there's the one in the movie was nicer than the one we stayed in?
Yes, I think it was newer.
You think it was like a 90s one?
Like an
they
80s
got a new one?
80s or a 90s one rather than a 70s one.
That'd be funny if we looked in the credits and it was like they got like a sponsorship with Airstream or something.
Good for them. Airstreams are dope.
That'd be pretty funny.
I think the movie perfectly followed the whole werewolf trope.
Yeah.
Predictable, enjoyable, good gore, good transformation. We know who it is.
I would say, in my opinion,
for the shit movie,
the transformation,
it was fine.
The transformation was very quick. It was fine for what they did. I'm sure most of their practical budget went to, the actual werewolf, they would have had to do so much more work and spend so much more money to do every bit and piece in like each stage of the transformation if they did it practically. So I get why they didn't do it that way. But it's always better to see a nice practical werewolf transformation.
Well, could it have been better? Yeah, but like I said, for the B movie, I think it did its job.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that worker that comes in and does, works what they get paid instead of trying to overachieve or underachieve,
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it was fine.
It was a fine movie. And talking about B movie too, I feel like this movie doesn't even have like cult status. Like, I don't see people talking about this movie at all. I think this is one of those weird, not hugely known, not widely known movies that I just like grew up watching and I like.
I love those.
Where
you're like, man, I grew up with this movie. This movie's awesome. Everyone's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. Like, if it had a cult following, there would be a lot more on the Wikipedia page than there is right now.
I also think it's got cult following potential, but it falls a little bit flat.
Why? Why do you think that?
I don't know. In a cult movie, I'm looking for comedy. I'm looking for irony. I'm looking for satire. I'm looking for like wittiness. It was just like a little bit too dull to be.
Is that what you consider to be like a cult?
I mean,
movie?
Look at Pulp Fiction. Princess Bride, like funny, a little bit cheeky.
Cult following just means something that gathers a big following. Doesn't have to be like funny,
But like all the cult movies that I enjoy, like Hot Fuzz.
Okay.
Right, are all funny and witty, and they keep the ball rolling. Like, it's never a lame, like a boring part.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. This doesn't really fit into that. But, like, yeah, it doesn't fit into that category of, like, boom, 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 boom. This movie is just going, There are parts where it slows down. We got to get some exposition.
It's not hyper-quotable.
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Not quotable.
Just not a great, like, script in general. Like, it was fine. For what it was fine.
Yeah, they definitely wanted to get you more with the kills and the werewolf than the script.
I did like how short it was, though.
Yeah, 79 minutes.
It was nice.
For any of you guys wanting to do a date night under 2 hours, Bad Moon, 79 minutes.
79 minutes in heaven.
Yeah, more like 75, and then some credits.
But you should consider watching it, because it's actually kind of a good time.
I had a good time. Did you have a good time?
I had a pretty good time.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was a nice what is that called? It was a nice reprieve.
Breath of fresh air?
Breath of fresh air.
It was a nice breath of fresh air. I think with that, I'll ask you the last question, and then we'll get out of y'all's hair. All right, baby. You ready? Last question?
Y'all ready for this?
I've asked you this many times with other movies. We're going to get copyright struck.
Shit. It's really why you want to do a B movie.
No. Would you recommend Bad Moon to others? Why or why not?
Why not? I don't have any qualms with it.
Why not?
I wouldn't be like, check out this sick werewolf movie I watched this weekend. Had me on the edge of my seat the whole time. But I'd be like, hey, you're looking for an entertaining evening? You like werewolves? You like gore? Watch this. You like predictability? Watch this.
It's a comfy movie.
It is a comfy movie.
It's got good, relaxing music.
Don't look at me like that.
The cinematography is good. It looks good. Like, it doesn't have, like, bad quality cameras
aged
or
fine.
anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It's fine. Oh, that's funny. All right. Well, you have anything you want to add to this movie? Or this podcast?
To this movie? Should I crawl into it?
You crawl into the TV like Chick from The Ring?
No, thank you.
Yeah?
No, that's all, folks.
That's all, folks. Got anything to plug? I mean, you're a regular, but always plug your stuff.
Oh, do we have like special pins for regulars?
What does that mean?
Oh, I should get like pins for people who regularly come on your podcast.
Maybe. That sounds expensive.
I'm grateful to be a regular.
Yeah. You're also just in my life. You're my fiance. She lives here.
That's my dog. That's his dog.
It's technically my dog.
It's our dog.
What's your things?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
If you are looking for music lessons, you can go to my website, thedinnertablefamily.com, or send me an email at thedinnertablefamily@gmail.com. I also have an Instagram that sends updates and things like how to play a scale on a piano or a guitar. If you've ever looked to play music, I also do Zoom lessons if you're not in Washington. That is also the Dinner Table Family, if you look that up. And then my own personal stuff, currently working on an EP called Up North that should hopefully be out this fall if we are lucky. You can follow me on TikTok at the Maddie Franz, or Instagram on the same tag, or Facebook if you still use that on the same tag as well. I also have a website, www.themaddifranz.com. Feel free to reach out and let me know your thoughts.
That's a lot.
Yeah, Michael.
She got stuff to plug. It's okay. We appreciate it. I got stuff to plug.
What you got? What you got?
If you want to follow me, hey buddy, you here for the plug? He's here for the plug. If you want to follow podcast, follow me on Horror First Timers anywhere you listen to podcasts. Main website is Buzzsprout. Tugboat, Salon stuff, Horror First Timers.
Horror First
Timers. And then you can also find that stuff on Instagram if you want to follow me for more movie reviews and stuff in my personal collection in our bookshelves and the never-ending Blu-rays that I keep buying. You can follow me at Tugboat Salon stuff on Instagram or Letterboxd, where I do like daily movie reviews. So yeah, follow me on all that stuff. Subscribe, hit the bell, comment, share. Love you. Bye.
Bye.